Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we will get details about tomorrow's big Quincy celebration at the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's beautiful. Lots of sunshine, 66 degrees right now. Have mostly sunny skies today. Pleasant temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s this afternoon. Clear and cool again tonight with temperatures dipping down into the lower 50s. All in all, pretty nice weekend coming up too. Tomorrow looks just beautiful for the Quincy celebration here in Quincy or any other outdoor events with sun and clouds. Highs tomorrow into the mid-70s, maybe a touch warmer on Sunday. There is a slight chance of a shower late Sunday or Sunday night, but otherwise sunshine with highs in the mid-70s. And look at Monday, just gorgeous, sunny, pleasant, comfortable, right around 70 degrees. Actually, the weather looks nice into the middle of next week. Again, sunshine 66 here in Quincy right now. Checking the news for you today, the Quincy City Council's Finance Committee this week did approve a request from the mayor to sell a vacant piece of land at 1620 Hancock Street in Quincy Center to a Boston developer. Officials voted 8-0 in favor of the land disposition agreement. It sells the property for $1.9 million. The councilor at large, Nina Liang, received assurances from the administration that the city would be able to buy the land back if the development fails to follow through on a plan for a new 150-unit apartment complex.
You know, it says in here that they have 120 days within the closing to actually get a shovel in the ground, right, and get started, which I think is great. And then they have, I believe, from there about two and a half years to get this done. So, I mean, this is going to be, you know, very clear, right, that unless there's, says in here, right, like some act of God or act of terrorism, like they have to get this done. And I appreciate the expediency that we're putting onto them in this legal document. It also says in here that at the time of the closing, we can actually place the purchase price into a separate escrow account. Again, just to have that protection in place that should we need to purchase the property back, because, you know, even with the best intentions, things happen, right? If the developer changes plans on us, if they do something, you know, significantly different than what we expect of them and what we want of the property, that we do have not only, again, the legal document that says we can purchase the property back, but the finances to do it as well.
Now, the Hines Group has proposed the new development that would also include the adjacent property that was once home to Coleman Sporting Goods, Blockbuster Video, and most recently the Good Health Store. The development, by the way, still needs planning board approval. Now, the new public safety complex that's being built here in Quincy won't be ready until November. This past week, the mayor said that there's still a punch list of items that need to be completed both inside and outside that building that's going up on C Street.
No, not yet, Joe. Okay. There's a lot of work still to be done there. And, you know, we're going to need the front yard, if you will, the front lawn area to have the dedication. So, you know, it's a little ways off yet. So we're hoping sometime in November. Okay. But we're just playing it by ear to watch the construction, and obviously the building will be finished, but the grounds, even if the front area is done, won't be finished until the old station comes down. That's removed, and then that will be finished off on that corner of Southern Artery and C Street. So the entire thing won't be done till probably, you know, when you add all that in, till early next summer or late spring.
Now, previously, Koch had said that the new building would be ready for occupancy by the police and fire departments and emergency management by October. Once the new building is complete, the current police station will be demolished and replaced with a new park dedicated to first responders. An adult and a juvenile are both charged with stealing the vehicles of two pizza delivery drivers in Quincy recently. The suspects were arrested in Braintree on Monday after police recovered one of the stolen cars at the South Shore Plaza. Police say the suspects phoned in fake orders for pizza and then waited for the delivery drivers. They stole the cars when the drivers got out to make the delivery and left their cars running. Quincy police posted this warning to all delivery drivers earlier this week, telling them to take their keys and lock their cars when they make a delivery. Now, the cars were stolen Sunday night in front of 803 Southern Artery and on Labor Day weekend on Berlin Street in North Quincy. Both vehicles have since been recovered, one with some front-end damage. Suspects have charged with possession of a stolen motor vehicle. Construction is underway on 5 new retail developments at the site of the former Motel 6 on Union Street in Braintree. A Cava restaurant, a Shake Shack, a branch of Brookline Bank, and 2 other unconfirmed tenants will be located at that site across from the Braintree T Station. Project will also include improvements to the intersection of Union and Ivory Streets and Grossman Drive. The first retail location is expected to open next spring. A previous proposal for a Chick-fil-A restaurant at that site was abandoned due to traffic concerns. Well, the city of Quincy paused yesterday to mark the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks with their annual ceremony in front of fire headquarters on Quincy Avenue. Deputy Chief Gary Smith said the event was both a tragedy and a shared experience that impacted every American.
Good morning to all of you and welcome to Fire Headquarters. Today we gather as a community along with our mayor and elected officials, our police chief Mark Kennedy, and all of our city employees, our citizens, our families and friends, to take a moment as a city to reflect on the events that occurred on 9/11. There were so many lives lost on that day, and today we get to stand in prayer to honor those. And not only do we honor those lost, we certainly honor the heroes of that day, the men and women who sacrificed their life to save others. But not all the heroes wore only uniforms and badges. There were passengers on a plane who confronted the terrorists, and they were men and women who went to work that day at the Pentagon and at the Twin Towers like they did every day, and were faced with such a harrowing situation that none of us could have ever imagined. Yet they stood together, they helped one another flee to safety, and tended to each other's wounds and injuries. For us, that was one of the worst days in our country's history, but it certainly was one of the best days for the American spirit, for our humanity, and for the unity and resilience of our country. So as a grateful city, we honor everyone who was affected and lost their lives on that day, and we will certainly never forget.
A bell was rung 20 times to commemorate the lives of the almost 3,000 people who died in those attacks. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, there is a huge Quincy celebration happening tomorrow at the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater. We will learn all about it next. Welcome back. The place to be in Quincy tomorrow is going to be at the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater and Pageant Field for From Colonial to Contemporary, a Quincy celebration. This is going to be an all-day event that features just about every type of entertainment there is available. There's live theater, there's live music, there's dancing, there's bands, there's food, there's fun, and there's Ann Danby from the Thalia Theater Troupe here right now to tell us all about it. And you found time to talk to us.
Just barely. Thank you for letting me come. I want everybody to come out. The gods have smiled on us. I think last time I talked to you, I was saying everybody pray to the rain gods that there's no rain, and it's going to be gorgeous.
Perfect. Just
perfect weather.
Yep.
Very excited about it. Putting in all the final touches that you do. But yes, I think the only thing that you missed is we're also going to have some live animals from the Trailside Museum.
Oh, right. Yes, I forgot about the animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have seen just how many things we can pack into to this. You know, as I've talked about it, being inspired by what they did for the Tricentennial, and just imagining what they did then. They had something like 500 people working on that.
Yes.
And I have the most amazing volunteers helping me with them, maybe only about 12. And a lot of moving parts. But we are so excited. Tomorrow it starts at 1,
Yeah.
goes till about 8.
Wow.
I think you've listed all the different things that we're bringing for everyone's entertainment.
Well, we should talk about them for folks who
Sure.
aren't. So this is kind of a Quincy 400 event.
It is. Yeah, it's-
Based on the Quincy 300 event, or inspired by it, right?
Inspired by
Yeah.
the Quincy 300 event, absolutely.
Yeah, so it starts at 1 o'clock. Really, the unique aspect, I think, is the live theater aspect of this, and that's where your theater troupe comes into play, right?
That's right. That's right.
5 single-act plays. Talk about, the thought behind that, how you put that together, and what we'll see.
So we put out a request
Yeah.
for Slices of Time in Quincy 1 acts, and we got maybe from all over the country. We
Yeah.
got 20 different. Some of them were not from around here and didn't know what was really Quincy, and some of them did their homework. And
Aspiring playwrights, right?
aspiring playwrights
Yeah.
in some cases award-winning playwrights.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So again, even that was the gamut. So I think exciting that Cindy Brandy, a local first-time playwright, wonderful play about the women who worked at the Four River Shipyard during World War II. We have Revolutionary Roast is written by somebody, one of the award-winning playwrights.
Okay.
A couple of them will be here. Obviously, Cindy will be here because she's already in town.
Right.
But we do have one coming, at least one coming. So each one of them, it really is a slice of Quincy. Bill Dana. I didn't know who Bill Dana was, but longtime residents will absolutely know who Bill Dana was.
Comedy writer, prolific comedy writer,
yes.
frequent guest on the Steve Allen Show.
Yes.
Wrote some, even All in the Family episodes
Yes.
as well for TV. Yeah. So
Yes. So people,
well known.
so entertainment. My yardstick for theater is that it's entertaining if it's also educational.
Oh,
And what I mean by that
okay.
is, if you come to a show and I just want to teach you, you're not going to be entertained. But if in the midst of telling you a story, you're very entertained, that's a good story.
Oh, okay.
So the Bill Dana Museum story isn't just, let me tell you about Bill Dana. It's an entertaining back and forth between two gentlemen, one of whom has never heard of Bill Dana, and the other who has.
Oh, that will be interesting.
And so
Okay.
it's a fun exchange between them of their different viewpoints,
Yeah.
et cetera. So it's an entertaining show.
Informational show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the brief was I want people to learn about Slices of Time in Quincy,
Yeah.
but entertain me.
Okay.
And all 5 of these, I think, do that.
Sometimes that's a great way to teach, though, right? Through entertainment,
Sure.
because it's memorable. It's a positive experience, and it sticks with you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, absolutely. Last year we did Shakespeare Bridge. We
Oh,
did
yeah.
all of pieces of all of Shakespeare's. It was the craziest idea, but it gave people a flavor of Shakespeare.
Or, like you, they may not have been aware that a certain thing that they're familiar with was actually a Shakespearean play,
Was
right?
actually a Shakespearean
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
Yes. And it was wildly funny and very well received. So I believe everybody will really enjoy these plays. There's 5 of them
5
in an
of
hour
them?
and a half. So they're
Okay.
none of them are really long. But very fun. I mean, I'm really looking forward to watching it myself.
Oh, all right. Okay. So maybe you'll learn something too.
Maybe I'll learn something
You already
too.
learned about Bill Dana, right?
I learned about Bill Dana. I learned about the one I'm directing, which is the Colonial Times, which
Okay.
is just a little snippet from the Tricentennial.
Oh, all right. Okay. Then there's I'm guessing this is the one based on the shipyard workers, the Welderettes.
The Welderettes,
Right,
that's
okay.
right.
Kind of a Rosie the Riveter theme, is that?
Again, I think we should say Flo because she is from around here.
Okay.
It's based on one of our own,
A real person.
a real
Yeah.
person. So, yeah, she's our own Rosie the Riveter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Strange Interlude, 1929.
Eugene O'Neill play,
Yeah.
banned in other
Yeah,
parts
very
of the country.
controversial.
It gives you a flavor of Quincy in how the mayor at the time approached whether or not to do the show.
Okay. In Quincy.
In Quincy.
Okay, all right.
We had a lot of theaters back then. There were maybe
Oh, yeah.
5 theaters in Quincy, very popular.
Yes.
And so, yes, You get to learn about the play itself.
Okay.
You get to learn about how the mayor at the time handled a controversial play by a very popular playwright.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then the final one you're directing, a revolutionary roast.
I am not directing that.
Oh,
no,
which one are you
Vix,
directing?
Vix is directing. I'm directing Colonial Times.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vix Gallardo, she's got an MFA. She's actually playing Flo
Yeah.
in Well-Duretts. She is directing Revolutionary Roast.
Acting and directing. Okay.
I'm the only director not acting in one of the
Oh,
shows.
really? Okay.
And a number of the actors
Yeah.
are in more than one show.
Oh, a lot of costume
A
changes
lot.
going
It
on.
really is a troupe, right?
Yeah.
You look at a troupe. It really is a troupe, and they're doing a great job. So Revolutionary Roast,
Yeah.
based on the idea that we're doing a contemporary roast as we do these days, but you're asking Thomas Jefferson to roast John Adams.
Ah, okay. All
So
right. Also
hilarity
educational.
ensues.
Based on fact, though, those two had a very tumultuous relationship. So
Yes,
yeah.
and the writer borrowed from the letters that they wrote to each
Yes.
other in their later years.
Neat. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
really,
love that
I
idea.
mean, folks who've been in the city a long time or newcomers will learn something here.
Everybody will learn something, but if you're just coming to learn, I'm not entertaining you, and I understand you could
go to the library, right?
or the Historical Society.
right,
There's
yeah.
wonderful things there too.
Yes.
And the things that we're doing on the pageant field
Yep.
are that sort of thing. Where else can I go and learn? The Quarry Museum is going to be there. They're going to do demonstrations. So we're doing a lot, but the plays are going to be to entertain you with wonderful little plays
Yeah.
and wonderful actors.
I don't know that anything like this has ever been done at the amphitheater, in such a broad way before, with such multifaceted entertainment. So
I get it. I get
gonna be
ambitious.
yeah, yes, you do. So those run from like 1:30 to 3:30.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's also a dance showcase. We didn't talk about this much last time, but what is that? Ian?
So the idea, when I looked at what they did 100 years ago, they had
Yeah.
something that they called the Mask of Immigrants, MASQUE.
Okay.
And it was a parade of people that were dressed in what at the time was thought of as iconic for immigrants. So
Oh.
I'm guessing somebody was dressed as a leprechaun, somebody was dressed as
Oh,
Michelangelo, and they
okay.
just sort of paraded. And I said, first of all, we have so many more immigrants now, new, and so we asked a couple of them to perform. So we have Chinese dragon dance.
Oh.
We have Latin dancing. So that's part of it. And
Okay.
we do have the maypole that's going to be there. So, yeah, we wanted to represent newer immigrants in a different way than the way they had done it 100 years ago.
Interesting. All right. Okay.
Yep.
So that's at 3:00.
Yeah, it might be a little later.
Little
We've
later,
been
yeah.
we've been playing with the schedule today because it's tomorrow. So,
Yeah. Why wait till the very last minute, right?
but we will be posting. We will be posting the schedule. Everybody will be able to get to the schedule. We don't have a program
Yep.
that is paper because we're modern now,
Right.
and so people will be able to find the schedule online.
On the Thalia Theater Troupe website. Okay.
Yep.
Heritage booths. You mentioned
Yes.
two of them already. The Quarry Museum.
Yes.
I'm imagining they'll be doing their stone splitting demonstration with the
Yes.
feathers and the wedges. That's a lot of fun, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And learn about the museum itself too.
yes. And and I said we had the animals.
Yes, the Trailside Museum,
That's right.
a childhood favorite of mine. So
That's
that's going to
right.
be a lot of fun
Yep,
as
they're
well.
coming at 3. We don't want the animals to be there too long.
Yeah.
We have the Southern Tide Mill is coming.
Oh, really? Okay.
We're also going to have a table that is complementary to that crazy big book that I came up with, which will have literature from a number of from USS Salem, from the from the library. So we'll have literature from different places, and we're going to have, for people to just peruse, there's the book that Thomas Morton wrote called New Canaan. So if people want to peruse things, so we're also going to have just things that aren't part of the slice of time, but that people might want to learn about. We're going to have that table as well.
All right.
So we'll have several different ones, but come and see. and then craft tables as well.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, we hadn't talked about that before either.
No,
so
we
really
didn't talk about
something
that.
for everyone.
We're trying to have something for everybody. Really, it's a Quincy celebration,
Yeah.
and we really want, for all the different kinds of things that people like in Quincy, you can do this or that. The food is going to be there. So, yeah, we're trying to have something for everybody.
We should certainly talk about the music, the live music.
Yes,
that'll
yes.
be,
So
part
5
of it.
different acts.
Yep.
We have the closing one will be Wolfpack. We have Quincy Boys, who are Quincy locals. Ian describes that much better. Ian, our legendary stage manager, describes them very well. Acoustic but rock. So
Okay.
they're pretty good musicians. I'm impressed with them. We have. And I'm sort of going backwards. We have 21 Grams More. They're a young up-and-coming local band.
Nice.
We have John Gorey, who's a local. He and Marcus Johnson locals are going to be playing up at the Pavilion. So our idea is that this is a moving. You move around
Yes.
the area.
Yeah, you don't just sit and watch.
You don't just sit and
you're
watch
part
it.
of it.
Right, you're part of it.
Yeah.
It's 1 through 8. Nobody wants to sit for
Yeah,
7
7
hours.
hours, right.
So
Yeah.
we're putting things in different places for people to come to different parts of the entertainment.
Okay.
So
So you're really just taking over the amphitheater and pageant fields.
that's the idea. I mean, they did do that 100
Yes,
years
they did.
ago.
They had to build stadiums, actually.
They had to build the stadium because they
exist.
didn't have
Right.
the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater.
Right.
We are very lucky to have it.
Yeah, and you really have activated it in its most possible way, I think, at least for this event, for sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned, you referred to the book.
Yes.
It's going to be the first life-sized history book of Quincy.
Yes.
Whose brainchild was that, and how did that come together?
Well, so I very casually said to somebody that I had seen this wonderful big book at a place that I visited in the spring in England. And wouldn't it be nice if? And somebody said, I'll do that. It has been, it will not be perfect
Okay.
because
Because you didn't have enough time.
because we didn't have time to make it perfect. But we tried to highlight some of the key events from 1625 through to the Dark Murphy's performance. And so we tried to highlight some of the key events that happened throughout the history of this place.
Wow. That's,
We'll see what people think of it.
that's a major undertaking
Yes.
to condense that into even a life-size book, 100 years worth of events.
Yeah.
Who's the master of that?
Sean Meehan has been building it.
Okay.
It's 10 feet wide by 7 feet tall.
Yeah. It's
2
big.
pages, so 1 page is 5.5.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Artistically, absolutely beautiful.
Really?
Beautiful. She's so artistic, and I tried to give her key points.
Yeah.
We've been tweaking it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but we're talking about, and I think I had said to you before when I thought it just wasn't happening, and I still will see. I'll see it tomorrow when it's actually there. Makes me nervous talking about it, as you can tell. We're gonna print out those pages if people want to take them home.
Right. Yes. A miniature version.
And it'll probably be, and go to the historical site if you want to know what's absolutely accurate, because we did our best.
Okay. All right. So, and I know you mentioned before you'd maybe like to donate that to the city at some point.
Yeah, we might or might not. If we donate it to the city, we might reprint it,
Oh, all right. Okay.
because we've been tweaking it a lot.
Okay.
But it certainly, that was our ambition, was to donate it to the city.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the city, I'm sure they're a major supporter with you putting this event on. Yeah.
They love the idea.
Yeah.
They have certainly, and you know, hopefully people are seeing it on Discover Quincy and all of that. We're very lucky that there isn't any Quincy 400 event tomorrow
Right. To coincide with,
to coincide with it.
This is going to be it.
But
yeah.
this is our gift to it. This is
Yeah.
what we can contribute.
It's free admission.
It is free admission.
Right? Yeah. The only cost is your food and
Is-
beverages.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. We've had a wonderful time putting it together. I hope everyone comes out. I hope they have a wonderful time.
Yes. The weather's going to be perfect. And this will be your grand finale for the season, right?
It's a grand finale for the
At
season.
the
That's right.
amphitheater. Yeah. How about for the Thalia Theater Troupe, Ann? Anything this year?
So there won't be anything else this
Okay.
year. We will be publishing our season for 2026
Okay.
later in the fall,
Yep.
once we recover from tomorrow.
Yes.
But we are in talks with the various places of what to do in 2026 and going forward.
All right.
But the idea is to do things always in the summer on the Ruth Gordon Amphitheater stage, but start performing as we did this year in various locations throughout the city that we want to highlight and that have interesting stories to tell.
Yeah, I know you were at the Q Arts Gallery this year, right?
We
For,
were,
Vincent Van
and I'm
Gogh.
hoping to go back there.
Okay.
And I'm talking to a couple other places about doing things at their locations as well.
Neat. Okay. Reach out to you on your website, or we have to mention, of course, the Friends of Ruth Gordon, because you're a team, you're partners, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We're lining up as well. We are lining up what will be on Friends Fridays for next year.
Cool.
Again, watch the space for that as well.
All right.
We'll probably be talking about that later. But we always, this will be our 4th year next year for
know.
Ruth Gordon Amphitheater. So we have people lined up that say, I want to be on that stage.
Get on that list, yeah. Have a wonderful event tomorrow, Ann.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping by. I know
Absolutely.
you're busy, so I'll let you get back to work.
Yep, absolutely.
Speaking of the forecast, just enough time to check it for you for the rest of the day today. Kind of what you see is what you get out there. Lots of sunshine, few clouds, comfortable upper 60s, even nicer tomorrow, mid 70s. Look at, just dry and sunny right through probably the middle of next week. Thanks again to Ann Danby for joining us from the Thalia Theater Troupe.
Thank you.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching Monday here on the show. We welcome the Friends of the Blue Hills to the program. Check our website in the meantime, which is qatv.org. You'll find our latest programs there with news, information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.